A young, vibrant woman named Lisa always prided herself on her healthy lifestyle, until one day she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Lisa was an emblem of health and vitality, a yoga enthusiast who loved her morning runs and fresh salads. She was meticulous about her diet, always opting for organic produce and lean proteins. Her friends often joked about her health freak tendencies, but they admired her dedication and discipline. Yet, despite her careful lifestyle, Lisa was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was an unexpected blow, a shockwave that rippled through her life, disrupting her sense of security and invincibility. She had always believed that her healthy habits would shield her from such a fate. Cancer was something she associated with unhealthy lifestyles, not her own. What was even more surprising was that Lisa had no known family history of the disease. Breast cancer, as she understood it, was often a genetic lottery, a cruel inheritance passed down through generations. But in her family tree, this disease was conspicuously absent. So, how did this happen? The question echoed in her mind, reverberating with every heartbeat. In her quest for answers, Lisa began to scrutinize her lifestyle. She examined every detail, every habit, and every choice. It was during this introspection that she stumbled upon a startling revelation. Two items that were a constant in her life were canned tomatoes and antibacterial soap. The canned tomatoes were a staple in her healthy soups, and the antibacterial soap, a hygiene essential she used daily. What Lisa didn't know was that these seemingly innocuous items have been associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. The canned tomatoes were lined with bisphenol A or BPA, and the antibacterial soap contained triclosan, both of which have been linked to breast cancer in some studies. Could these common household items have been the culprits behind Lisa's diagnosis? Could her diagnosis have been linked to these common household items? Let's explore. Every day, we come into contact with numerous items, unaware of the potential health risks they may carry. Consider, for instance, the humble shower curtain. It's something we use daily, perhaps not realizing that some are produced using a chemical known as vinyl chloride. This compound, while making our shower curtains flexible and durable, has been associated with liver cancer in occupational settings. Have you ever thought about what goes into that antibacterial soap you use? Triclosan, a common ingredient in some antibacterial soaps, has been explored for a potential link to an increased risk of breast cancer. What about the commercial hair dyes many of us use to cover grays or experiment with our looks? Certain chemicals in these dyes have been studied for their potential association with bladder cancer. Now, let's talk about food. Processed cheese, a staple in many of our diets, is often packaged in materials containing phthalates. These substances can migrate into the cheese and have been linked to an increased risk of breast cancer. And canned tomatoes, a convenient addition to many meals, are sometimes stored in cans lined with bisphenol A, or BPA. This compound has been associated with an increased risk of breast and prostate cancer. Each of these items is a part of our daily lives, yet we rarely stop to consider their potential health implications. It's important to note that while these associations do not necessarily mean these items will cause cancer, the potential risk is there. And it's a risk that many of us unknowingly take every day. In our homes, in our routines, in the very fabric of our everyday lives, these hidden dangers lurk. But by being aware, by understanding the potential risks, we can make more informed decisions about the products we choose to bring into our homes. These are just a few examples of items we encounter daily that could potentially increase our risk of cancer. Our surrounding environment, something we have little control over, can also pose risks. Let's delve into the potential dangers lurking in our environment that we might not be aware of. We often think of insecticides as our allies, defending us from pesky invaders. However, the organophosphates used in some insects have been studied for their potential links to various cancers, including leukemia. These substances, designed to disrupt the nervous system of insects, might also be affecting our health in ways we don't fully comprehend yet. Now, consider the stainless steel cookware in your kitchen. It's durable, it's sleek, and it's a staple in most homes. But did you know that prolonged use of stainless steel cookware containing nickel and chromium has been associated with an increased risk of lung cancer in certain occupational settings? The heat from cooking can cause these metals to leach into your food, potentially causing harm over time. And what about those handy plastic food containers we all have stacked in our cupboards? They're perfect for storing leftovers, but they might be storing more than just your pasta. Some plastic food containers contain bisphenols and phthalates, chemicals that are being investigated for their potential links to breast cancer and endocrine disruption. When these containers are used for hot food or beverages, or when they're heated in a microwave, these chemicals can leach into the food and then be ingested. It's important to remember that while these potential links exist, they are not definitive causes. Many factors contribute to cancer development, and exposure to these items does not guarantee a cancer diagnosis. However, understanding these potential threats in our environment empowers us to make informed decisions about our daily habits and lifestyle choices. Our environment is filled with potential threats, many of which we are not even aware of. It's a sobering thought, but it's also a call to action. By staying informed and taking proactive steps, we can help mitigate the risks and create a safer environment for ourselves and our loved ones. Our daily routine, something we rarely give a second thought to, can be riddled with hidden dangers. Imagine settling down on your couch after a long day, flipping open your favorite novel. The comfort of your living room, however, might be hiding a potential risk. Some furniture, particularly those manufactured before the mid-2000s, were treated with flame retardants, specifically polybrominated diphenyl ethers, or PBDEs. Certain studies have examined the potential association between these chemicals and thyroid cancer. Now consider your beauty routine. A pop of color on your nails can certainly brighten your day, but did you know that some nail polishes contain formaldehyde? This chemical, commonly used as a preservative and disinfectant, has been investigated for potential links to lung and nasopharyngeal cancers, particularly in occupational settings like nail salons. Lastly, let's talk about a common guilty pleasure: microwave popcorn. The convenience of this snack is undeniable, but the lining of some microwave popcorn bags contains perfluorooctanoic acid, or PFOA. This chemical has been studied for its potential links to kidney and testicular cancers. It's essential to remember that these potential risks do not guarantee an inevitable diagnosis. Many factors can influence the development of cancer, including genetics, lifestyle, and overall health. However, being aware of these potential hazards allows us to make more informed decisions about the products we choose to use and the habits we form. We must also remember that research in these areas is ongoing. Not all studies agree on the level of risk associated with these everyday items, and further research is needed to draw definitive conclusions. Nevertheless, we can't ignore the possible dangers lurking in our daily routines. By educating ourselves and staying informed, we can take steps to reduce potential exposure to these substances. This might mean opting for nail polish brands that avoid harmful chemicals, or choosing furniture that has not been treated with PBDEs. Our daily habits and routines may unknowingly expose us to potential carcinogens. But knowledge is power, and by being aware, we can make choices that prioritize our health and well-being. Awareness is the first step towards prevention. This simple yet profound statement serves as a guiding light in our battle against cancer. Throughout this discussion, we've unearthed some startling revelations about the potential carcinogens lurking in the most unsuspecting of places: our homes, our environment, and even in the mundane routines of our everyday lives. Our shower curtains, for instance, might be releasing vinyl chloride, a substance linked to liver cancer. The antibacterial soap we trust to keep us clean might contain triclosan, which could increase the risk of breast cancer. The hair dye we use to transform our looks might harbor certain chemicals associated with bladder cancer. Our diets, too, might not be as safe as we think. Processed cheese, a staple in many households, could be tainted by phthalates from its packaging, increasing the risk of breast cancer. The canned tomatoes we use for convenience might be lined with bisphenol A, a substance linked to both breast and prostate cancer. The environment around us also plays a role. Insecticides, especially those containing organophosphates, have potential links to various cancers, including leukemia. Even our cookware and food containers could expose us to nickel, chromium, bisphenols, and phthalates, substances being investigated for their potential links to lung cancer and endocrine disruption. Our furniture, often treated with flame retardants like polybrominated diphenyl ethers, might be contributing to thyroid cancer. Even the nail polish we use for aesthetic purposes could contain formaldehyde, a potential cause of lung and nasopharyngeal cancers. And the seemingly harmless bag of microwave popcorn might expose us to perfluorooctanoic acid, potentially linked to kidney and testicular cancers. These revelations are not meant to scare, but to inform, to arm us with knowledge so we can make safer choices, to encourage us to question, to research, to understand the potential risks associated with our daily routines. Because the path to prevention begins with knowledge and awareness. Let's keep ourselves informed and make safer choices for a healthier tomorrow.